Good evening, and welcome to the 1927 Club podcast. I'm Matt, and tonight I am joined by Mr. Rhys David Evans, who's not very well yet again, still struggling on there. How are we doing, buddy?
Still powering through somehow.
Still powering through. That result this afternoon have got to make you feel a little bit better, though.
Yeah, a little bit of a pep in my step, like a little bit of energy.
Yeah, fantastic result. Considering what the performance and the result last week, what a difference, wasn't it?
Yeah, again, it's the reaction we were looking for. I don't think anyone was expecting a 4-0 win. I mean, especially when Doncaster set up and played against us at our place. But to put 4 past them to Dylan Lawler's goal as well, that's icing on the cake for me, I was.
Yeah, chalk and cheese, really, the two performances from Doncaster, if I'm honest. I was expecting more of a battle and probably would have been happy with a 1-0 win, to be honest. And especially when I seen the side come out, I wasn't overly convinced it was the right selection, but he's gone and done it again, hasn't he?
Yeah, I wasn't too confident with the starting up. Nothing is Ruben, but we've seen him play a false 9 previous years. And he doesn't really like to jump ahead the ball much. That's not his game. His game is the ball on the floor. And back then he struggled as the false 9. But looking back, that football was more direct. This is a bit more build-up play. I just thought he's not as versatile as, say, Kellerman. And I thought we'd miss Kellerman up top today. But then this, again, fantastic performance from Ruben. And it's another game without our top striker. And we scored another 4 goals.
Yeah, you can't argue with it. And yeah, I thought it was a brave call by BBM putting Ruben up there, considering he's been out for such a long time. And I know he had 45 minutes last week, but if he was a neutral watching that game today, you wouldn't have thought he'd been out for 3 or 4 months, would you?
No, and I kind of thought maybe Robbo would start up top today. Salek was out, and I seen Kellerman wasn't on. I thought Rob was up top. We give him 45 minutes if he's tired, or 60 minutes, and give Ruben 30 minutes, get some minutes in his leg. But again, he looks so fresh today since he's come back from his injury. He looks like he's had a massive, a big rest, and now he's a new player coming into a squad.
Yeah, and he's not the only one, is he? And I know we've talked about him. We use Tanner as an example, but and we've been quite fortunate this year. But again, I think it's credit to the backroom staff and the fitness guys. All the players look ready. It's a bit of a cliche, really, but they're ready to play when they come back. Like,
yeah, we've seen it previous years, and that's not to take anyone out. But players coming back and they look so off it. So the game, they look nowhere near the level of standards level. Now they're coming in. They're coming back now, and they're just hitting the ground running. And it's about getting minutes in the legs, but fair play to them. They look like they're sharp. As soon as they start after the injury, they look sharp. That's the biggest thing. Are they impacting games?
100%. I just again, we've mentioned this numerous times, but fitness levels are through the roof this year. And there's a comment from Graham in the chat about Joel runs on Duracell. That bloke has got one hell of an engine on him. He runs just as fast and presses just as quick in the last minute as he does in the first minute. And I thought he had an outstanding performance today. Like I said, his energy and his work ethic is second to none, and I thought he was outstanding.
Agree. It's something we missed for so long. We had CEO who has got a lot of energy, but this is a more controlled energy. Like, he knows where to press, where to stand off, where to make late runs. I think he's the sort of player we missed him in field, I think, really, for as a box-to-box. But he's someone who can play the 10 if needed as well. He's just as deadly. What a player he is. He's so versatile. I mean, he's got to be looking at the World Cup coming up for Wales. I'll be mind blown if he's not in the World Cup squad going to America.
Yeah, that'll be interesting. Now that'll be out in a couple of weeks. Is it? Well, when's the next game? The 26th of March, I believe, isn't it?
Yeah, end of March. So expect to see him and Dylan in the side, I reckon.
Yeah. Happy days. It's only going to be a quick one tonight, guys. As we explained earlier, Rhys is still struggling, so we're going to keep it short and sharp tonight so you can get on with watching the Brit Awards that are on ITV. There are other channels that you can watch this evening if you wish. Not promoting the ITV, but Yeah, all good. But going back to the starting lineup, then obviously there was a couple of changes from Plymouth last week. Chambers had a rest this afternoon. He was on the bench, didn't feature, so he had a bit of a rest. Ryan Wintle come back into the side. Obviously, Kellyman. I'm not sure what's happened with Kellyman, whether he's just given him the weekend off, if he picked up a niggle in training. I'm not too sure. Have you heard anything in regards to Kellyman?
Nothing. Hopefully, though, I literally just rested him, hopefully. And it's the serious. He might have been a bit, I don't know. It could be anything, really. Hopefully, it's at the serious and he's back for next Saturday, because we're going to need someone like next Saturday, I think.
100%. And I thought BBM managed the game brilliantly today. Took off Lawler after 60 minutes. I think he had a bit of a pull on his calf. He said in the after the match in the interview, but I think that was always going to be on the cards. Let him have 60 minutes, chuck Fish on in for the last half hour, and just get minutes under his belt. I think that's his first start, I think, for quite a while, isn't it, Lawler?
Yeah.
Beginning of January, I think.
What a performance. What a goal again. It's the second time this season he's done that now. Leighton Orient, he just ghosted through him like they weren't there and scores. And today, edge of his box, picks it up, runs through the entire Doncaster team. Nobody can go close to him.
No. Outstanding. To have the confidence to be able to do that from, pick the ball up, what was it, about 10 yards off the 80. So you've run about 70, 75 yards with that ball at his feet, and no one come close to him, to be fair. He absolutely outstanding. But let's go. We'll come to that in a second. But obviously the first goal, Dylan Lawler obviously massively involved again with that ball over the top. I think he's done that a couple of times this season. And a great finish from Alex Robertson as well.
First of all, a fantastic run. He got him behind the defender, seen no spaces, stayed on side. Fantastic ball by Lawler, mind. Literally on a 10 pence for him. Takes it down comfortably. First touch was brilliant and beats the keeper. And what a player Robertson's showing again. His form in recent weeks has been outstanding. And I think we thought he was going in January from the start of the season. And it took a little while to get going, but he's found his form now, and he's got to be one of the best players in this league right now.
And he's putting his hand up, obviously, for international honours as well. Now, I think he was quite... he's been quite open and honest this week and said that he obviously wants to pledge his alliance then to Australia. So he's going to be right in the mix for a World Cup place with them as well, isn't he?
Yeah, and let's be honest, he's fully deserving of a place in that squad right now. I mean, there's not many players in midfield who can... he's played the six for us, and he's picked the ball up from deep, and things have gone through him, and he's outstanding. He's run the show. He's gone further forward like today now, and he's running things again. He's, he gets his goal as well. He looks like a complete player, doesn't he?
Yeah, that goal he scored was outstanding. Yeah. Like I said, to have the confidence to pick that ball up and, run 70, 75 yards with it, full tilt, looks so comfortable on the ball as well. I think Alex Robson spoke after the game as well, saying that he should have passed it to him, but obviously he was happy he scored it. And I listened to Kevin Ratcliffe on the radio after the game. They took Josh out for a kick around, and he doesn't seem to think he'll be wearing a Cardiff shirt for too long.
I think it's one of those, let's be honest, if we get promoted now, or when we get promoted now, every player, you slap extra couple of million on the price tag. If someone's willing to come in and pay £15 million for one of our players, let them do it. If they're not, they're under contract for a little while. Let's keep them here. And when you've got a manager like BBM as well, I mean, it's a stepping board for some of these players. Some of these players could go on to Premier League quality.
Yeah.
And I just think they've got to think of the next move carefully. They could easily just jump ship now in the summer. Fair enough, if they do it, they do it. But if I was one of their players or advisor, I'd be look, another year with this manager, look what you've done in this league now. Let's see where you are in the next year. You might be in January looking at a bottom half Premier League team. That could be your stepping stone into bigger things. So, again, if someone's willing to pay the silly money, for everything else, just keep them.
The only thing for me and the concern I've got regarding Dylan Lawler, there's no doubt that he's going to be, and he is, he's a top player. But is it a big team going to come in? Obviously, his injury record is not the greatest. Are we likely not to get as much for him if a big team's going to take a punt with him? Is he on a selfish point of view, we kind of need to keep him and have a full season where he's fit and he's playing regular, putting in these performances for a team to come in, and so we can demand top dollar. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I get. I think it's you can't blame the physicality of the English league. You know, the physical demands and stuff. If he goes to Germany, for example, now, the physical demands are not going to be as big. He's not going to be playing Saturday, Tuesday, Friday, Monday, Saturday, or stuff like that every week. He'll play Saturday after Germany, or he goes to Italy. He plays Sunday. Slower pace, not as demanding on the body. He could go to a big European club and we could get full whack for him because, again, they'll see him maybe able to do the full season. And I think that's what we got to look at. I mean, he could go to a Bournemouth now and probably play a handful of games and then probably get loaned out, or a Chelsea, like, for example, they loan him out for the next 10 years, then sell him on. I think he should be smart enough and just stay here for a bit and then look for his next move. And I think his next move will be suited for German football, Italian football, somewhere it's not as physical as English leagues and it's not as regular every week as English leagues.
It's a fair point. You heard it here first, guys. Obviously, the third goal today, I think it did get given to Cian Ashford in the end. It looked 50-50 on the replay, but I thought he was outstanding again. He obviously come into the side today on the left. I thought his, tracking back, defending, I thought he had a really strong performance today, to be fair.
Yeah, and I'm glad for his goal. I think something we've seen quite often is the players get the ball in that position, like Ruben does say, and they usually look to cut back and then pass it around. But Ruben puts the ball straight through, drills it low on the floor. It's not a floating cross, straight across the floor, foot on it, 3-0. And again, he's another player who's probably playing for confidence. To get a goal is massive for these youngsters. I mean, it just keeps them ticking over. And let's be honest, when you're looking at a striker scoring, you're looking at others to chip in. I went to tell you, we've got 4 different goal scorers today. It shows the team is working together as well for the goals, and that's brilliant, that is.
I just thought the way we bounced back today, especially keeping a clean sheet, that'll be massive after shipping 5 goals last week. I think that's probably more important than us getting 4 goals today for confidence for, the defenders, and obviously Nathan Trott as well. Did have a bit of a dicey moment when he rolled the ball out to Osho. I don't know if you've seen that, but clean sheet. Think I would have given him a bit of a boost today as well as scoring 4 goals.
Yeah, again, look at last week, and I know we Cardiff fans, we expect the worst to happen all the time, and I understand some fans are a bit, we've lost. We just conceded 5 against Plymouth now. It's panic time. But again, I just think it was a bad in the office. And today, to have a clean sheet, first and foremost, sets the weekend right. I mean, it's like the back to best and defensively. And to get the 4 goals as well, it just shows last week was a blip. Forget about it, move on. And then we take it game by game. It's not look at one game, it's just game by game. I'll keep it going.
Yeah, and that's the way I think they've approached it. They all seem quite level-headed at the moment, and I no doubt they say it for the cameras. They've got to be talking about it and looking at it behind kind of closed doors type of thing. But, the way they talk and the way they approach games and the way they talk to the media, I think, everyone has been top draw so far. Final goal line, pretty much last play of the game, last kick of the game, shall we say. Mr. Callum Robinson, I was so chuffed for him. That ball went in the back of the net. He's another one who's, he was on today and he had a couple of heavy touches, and we'll come back to that in a minute about the state of the pitch. But yeah, when that ball hit the back of the net and everybody went up behind him, I was so chuffed for him. Yeah.
Again, as a Stevenage, 2 fantastic saves to deny him a goal. And then Barnsley, I think, was a fantastic save to deny him a goal. He's getting closer and closer. And as a striker, it's got to be playing on your mind all the time. I'm getting 10-minute cameos, 20-minute cameos. I just can't seem to score. No matter what I do, I can't seem to score. So today, for him to get his goal, intelligent run, mind, and movement to see the ball, to nick ahead of it before the defender, to turn the defender and put in the far corner, that's intelligence, that is. That's what the experience gets to. So I'm delighted he got his
carbon
goal.
Copy of the back pass when we beat the Jacks 3-0 as well, when he scored a brace.
Yeah. And again, it's just taking the ball away from the keeper and putting it in the opposite corner. And again, it doesn't matter how it goes in, as long as it went in. And I'm just glad he got his goal. And as long as that goes on, he's probably thinking another game, I'm not going to score. 93rd minute saying, no, I've not got another goal. And then to get his chance then, I've landed for him, honestly.
And, like you said, fair play for him to be in that position and kind of preempt that ball was going to be in that position in the 95th minute is testament, because he could have thought, well, we're 3-0 up. I haven't got to chase that. Do you know what I mean? But I think that work ethic from every single player now is completely different to what we've seen over the last couple of years. And yeah, credit to him. I was well happy, and he looked quite emotional at the end as well, didn't he? I think. It's
the intelligence. You see the defender on the ball, sort of shift his body, so he knows it's going back towards either the keeper or the defender, and he's just anticipated that, read the ball and run for it and got there first. And this is something he brings that maybe the other players haven't got because they haven't got that experience. So for him to and to get a goal now, this might be the last season we have him. Again, we don't know. But if it is, I'm glad that he's got another goal today. And hopefully he'll get another few before the end of the season.
Yeah, agreed. Going back, and it's probably something we should have started off with, really, but I put the stream on quite early, I think, today, just to make sure it was all up and running and stuff. And even from the warm-up, I had concerns over the state of the pitch. And it proved to be, I think it took us 10, 15 minutes to there was heavy touches. The ball seemed to bounce quite a lot. It looked very, very poor, didn't it?
You expect this now, this part of the season against some of these teams. Teams in League One don't look to play the kind of football we play. So if they can rough the pitch up, leave it a state, any team that does try playing that kind of football, it's going to kill them, hinder them. So, to be fair to the boys, they adapted to it, and I think that's a credit to them. But again, I'm surprised by Doncaster. Like I said earlier, they're chalk and cheese from the way we played them home. They were a shadow of themselves today, and
yeah, they were really impressive in fairness. And like you said, last kick of the game, I think Joel Bagan scored, didn't he, at the near post? They were really impressive that day, and I don't know if they had players out today or players injured or whatever, but yeah, they were a shadow of themselves when they came to Cardiff City Stadium earlier in the season.
Well, I listened to the manager's press conference after the game, and he said he takes full responsibility because he should have changed things at half-time, but he kept it going. He said the centre-half pairing were non-existent. That's a bit damning, that is, really, isn't it? Because, again, you could easily say the centre-halves are to blame for the goal, but Dylan Lawler gets past the entire team with scores.
Yeah,
no
and
single player got close to him.
Yeah, I listened to his interview, and he said, like, from Dylan Lawler's point of view, and Cardiff obviously is an amazing goal, but from a Doncaster point of view, it's absolutely atrocious. That should never happen at that standard or that level of football, really, should it?
Exactly. You're looking at usually got a midfield marshal to get stuck in, and if it's a yellow card, it's a yellow card. But you leave a foot or something on them and go, right, you're not doing that again. And then everyone resets. But no one, they haven't sort of stood off him. The lack of press was a bit evident today as well. I just thought they allowed us a bit too much time on the ball, showed us too much respect, and we punished them for it.
Yeah, very professional performance today. Massive bounce back after last week. I think we said last week there was no need to kind of hit the panic buttons, and confident that obviously the team and the manager would bounce back, and that they did. We'll jump into the comments and say hello to a few people. Mark Cox is still stuck on the train. The train's been delayed. Still singing just past Derby.
Is this snow?
We'll get on safe, buddy. I know. Evening, Reese. My name's Matthew, not Rob, though. He's on later on in the week. Reese says, I don't think we looked too great first half. Looked a little nervous, albeit we won the first half 1-0. I think going back to what we said about the state of the pitch, I think that was a massive factor today. Took us a while to get into the game, I think.
Yeah, again, it's when you try to set up your all-natural game and you see the state of the pitch, and obviously it hinders you, so you've got to slightly adjust it. But once we got going, I mean, once the boys turned up, and that was it then. They couldn't.
I think it was massive. We come out and he scored that goal so soon after half time. That kind of I suppose when you've got that 2-goal cushion, you've got that bit of a breathing space, haven't you? So, for us to come out and, because we have been on the other end of it, haven't we? And we've conceded early in second halves. And, if we had conceded a goal at that time, Doncaster had scored, it changes games, doesn't it?
Well, again, how many times have you seen us go in dominant at half-time and then slow start the second half? And we give some teams like 5-10 minutes to spell dominance. But today, we just didn't. We were the team that came out and dominated as soon as the kick-off happened in the second half. It was just great to see. It was refreshing.
Yeah. Evening, Paul. How are we doing, my friend? He says, evening, Matt and Reese. Donny were terrible. What we wanted was a reaction to last week's defeat, and we got one. 4-0 away with no striker. Good performance from the team to bounce back. Can't ask for any more. Summed it up perfectly there, Paul. Graham said as well, glad Robinson got one. Do him a world of good. Wintle was really reliable. Yeah, I think he showed Wintle's performance again today showed perhaps why he should have been in the team last weekend, but lesson learned, I think, but it is what it is. The only downside today was the Chasers winning games as well. Yeah, Lincoln are still hot on our trails, and I know there's a Lincoln fan in the chat as well. So it all leads massively to next week. I don't want to talk about it too much because Reece can't go, so I know he's quite upset about it. But next week is title decider for me, mate.
It's one of those where I don't think it matters. I mean, there's still so many games to play. I think it's about 12 games left after today. Is it 12 games left after today now? I mean, that's good, yeah. What's that? It's 36 points up for grabs. You lose next weekend, it makes no difference. It's still 33 to play for after that. So
it would be nice to get one back over them, wouldn't it, after they beat us? Was it just before Christmas or just after Christmas?
Just before, I think. It's one of those games where you're looking at, if you can win, because they've been on such a dominant run of games, I don't think they've lost in 14. If you can be the team that breaks a record, you hope it psychologically it does the damage, not 3 points. It's not just 3 points. You hope psychologically they start to falter, and then you just carry away then and just clinch title. That's the thing. But again, it's just a massive game, let's be honest. But we got to take it as just another game.
What kind of attendance do you anticipate being at Cardiff City Stadium next weekend?
20,000. I don't think it'll be that. It's a 12:30 kickoff. We know that kills attendances. Sky do it to us all the time. Sky ruining football. So
again, it's like one of the boys who comes with me and Josh. He plays football on a Saturday morning, 11:30 kickoff. So he's having an eye on whether to obviously play football himself or come and watch Cardiff. So he's a killer, really. But what can you do in it? 1927 GB. Good evening. I've just got in from Donny, and I said this to Si last week. Plymouth was an off day. I fully expected us to bounce back. I said we would end Lincoln's run next week, and it's all set up for it. That it is, my friend. Jama, good evening. Players will be staying next season, as going up is the next level, so I think we keep them next season. Fingers crossed, my friend, but money talks, don't it? Way things are going in the world, the World Cup will be played in Maesteg and Lido.
I'm sorted for that then.
I've seen tonight there's been some kind of terrorist attack in Dubai, haven't there, or something?
No, Iran have bombed a hotel in Dubai. They've decided to bomb half the Middle East. They have. It's insane. That's a member show chat. This is, I think.
Yeah, we'll keep that separate. Monday nights, tune in. Got to become a member. Antonio, Swansea better than Car bad. Thanks for tuning in, buddy. Much appreciated. Nice to see you can take time out to watch a Cardiff City show. Top man. Or lady, I'm not sure. The German teams have been very interested in Lola, Dortmund and Bayern. I think Kompany will probably... it'll probably be a good signing for Vincent Kompany when it obviously played in his position as well. And I think that could be quite a bit of a pull for Lola. And obviously the links Bellamy's got with with company?
I think for us, it's best if he goes to a Dortmund over a Bayern Munich, simply because, again, like we said before, if you can get a slap or sell on fee on from Dortmund, there's bigger clubs you can go on to and we can get more money from and sell on clause. If you go to Bayern, the only clubs you're going to after that is really Barca, Madrid, or Man City, really, for a bigger fee. So it's one of those where, for Cardiff's point of view, if he does leave, it's to a Dortmund or Bayern. But for him personally, to work with some of the best players in the world, work with a manager who, is played his position, he's going to be aware of him sort of thing. So for him personally, Bayern would be the better move. But for us as fans, it's got to be Dortmund for us. Out of them two orders.
I want him to stay in Cardiff.
I do as well. I do.
Yeah. What's happened to Salek? Is he ever going to return? Apparently he's had personal issues or family issues. So he's been back in Copenhagen. He's due back Monday or Tuesday. That's what I've read or listened to.
It's one of those. It's one of those where he's got to work to get the side now. Because let's be honest, we all thought, same with Ruben, we thought when he was out injured, it's going to be a massive miss. Another player stepped up to the mark, and we've flourished. And Salek is injured, thinking, where's the goals going to come from? And we've been smashing them in.
There's a comment now, we'll come to that, so hold them thoughts for a second. Looking forward to next weekend. Imps fan, massive game. Cheers, Nath, for tuning in and getting involved. I see they've sold 2,700 or 2,850 tickets, so should be quite a noisy away end next week. Yeah, it's got all the makings of a really good, exciting game next weekend. It'll probably end up being a shit 0-0 draw, knowing our luck, but I'd kind of take that, I think, really. But with our home form being as strong as it has been, I've probably cursed us now. We've got to be confident of taking 3 points next week, mate, don't we?
Yeah, it's just one of those where you're home, in front of the Campden, and with some of the players we've got, you're hoping they rise to the occasion. I mean, it's going to be a nervy game. Whoever scores first, the other side could wobble. So you've just got to settle nerves down and just keep calm. I think this is where the experience of Wintle, maybe a Robo, but maybe Chambers at the back with Lola. Maybe that's where those experienced players will come through now and will help get to see the game through.
I think if we can get an early goal next week in the first 10 minutes and silence that, travelling away fans, I think that'll be massive next week. I think, but obviously it's a game of 90 minutes and we know teams can score late goals, which we've done plenty of. It's going to need a full 90-minute performance next week, mate, to come out on top.
Yeah, like we said earlier, though, the season isn't going to be defined by next weekend. It'll still be 11 games to play after that. So, you can see now, you win, and some fans get carried away. Maybe they deserve to get carried away after what we've seen in recent years. If they don't win, some fans will get carried away, and it'll just be the end of the world. But there's 11 more games to play after that. And we can't.
I'll be honest, the first results I looked for today was Bolton's, to be fair. Don't get me wrong, I'd love us to go up as champions. I really do, because we've been at top for so long. But I think, because we know we'll get promoted if we finish second, I think the first result I look for now is Bolton and the Stockports, the ones who are battling for third, and just to see how much that gap is increasing or decreasing. I don't know if that's the right way I should be looking at it, but that's the way I am looking at it. I don't know what your thoughts are on or anybody else's.
I want top spot. I want that top spot. Let's be honest, we've been. How many other teams have said we're the best team they've played this season? Because imagine the best team in the league doesn't finish top. I think that says something. But again, as it stands, it's 12 games to go. We might win next weekend. We can't get carried away. We've got to take every game as it comes. Yeah. And I want that number one spot. I'm not going to lie to you. Yeah. I want us to go back as champions, kick the door into the championship. Boom, we're back. Let's ruffle a couple of feathers back up here again.
Right, this is Jammer asked the question. So, lads, as asked a while ago, are City playing better football without the striker? So you have gone into it quite a bit, but you can't argue with that, can you? That we are, I suppose, or we scoring plenty of goals when he's not in the team then.
Yeah, I think we changed the play approach slightly. So when he's in the side, it's either lumped up to him or they're playing a bit slower because he hasn't got the pace. But when you've got like a number 9 there or a false 9 with a bit of more pace, you can put the balls in behind. You can feed balls for a bit more. There's a bit more freedom, fluidity in the attack, and I think it suits us a bit more. But don't get me wrong, there's going to be games where you're going to need a Salek to bully defenders or to get roughed up a bit to allow others runners and stuff. So, but again, he's got a big job ahead of his hands to get back on his side.
Yeah, 100%. It'd be interesting to see what comes out. Nothing come out in the press conference or his interview on the side of the pitch regarding Kellyman, and I'm hoping it's just like you said, as we discussed earlier, that it's just give him a bit of a rest, really. But yes, we'll wait and see. Graham kind of agrees, definitely scoring more, but it's another option if things are not working to bring Salek on and change tactics.
And you do see it, like, if you're winning 1-0, 85th and 5 minutes of the clock, you do want to target man, somebody who can launch the ball up to, that's going to battle the defenders to hold the ball up, to allow everyone else to reset positions, play forward. You're going to need that. So, there's a role from there, but as it stands at the minute, he's just going to work his way back on the side.
Yeah. Jama says, from the Lincoln squad, who gets in the City squad, if any? I'm going to be completely honest, and my answer would be I wouldn't have a Scooby-Doo because I don't worry about anybody else. And that's not me being disrespectful to Lincoln, but I couldn't name a Lincoln City player, if I'm completely honest with you. I got no other interest in any other team apart from Cardiff. So I don't know if you know any players who play for Lincoln and potentially could get in the Cardiff side, but I don't think we would need to consider it anyway. Again,
we're top of the league for a reason. We've done it with our own players. So again, you look
at it. Makes me laugh as well. The manager said the resources Cardiff have and this, that, and the other. But I don't think a lot of them realise how many are homegrown players.
And this is the thing. I think what's happened is the financial reports came out tonight. Is it yesterday before?
Yeah.
From last season, and they are staggering to read some of the wages we're paying. But then with League One, and 18 first-team players have gone. There's clauses in contracts for players who lost money. A lot of youngsters are coming through. It'll be interesting to read what this year's financial reports are next year. But again, they always say it's the resources. And partly can get what they're saying because a club like Doncaster, for example, if they're a Salek, they might have been forced to sell in January. We're not forced to sell players. We can hold on to them. We can afford to hold on to them. But again, you could spend £100 million on players and finish second in the league like Man City will. It means nothing. Unless you get the 200 players. So just because you got money doesn't mean you're going to win stuff.
Yeah, exactly. Jonathan asking about Kellyman, and now we've mentioned it, I do remember seeing the Cardiff team walk in and he was there with his boots. So perhaps he was a travelling reserve. That's the only thing I can think of, and he was given the rest, perhaps. That's all I can think of. Jonathan also says, because I mentioned it earlier, Doncaster didn't have any injuries before the game. Robinson got his goal as well, so maybe we'll nick a few more off the bench in the next few games, fingers crossed. Reese apologising. Owe you a pint now or something. I don't drink, mate, so I'll have a Diet Coke if I ever see you. Do Swansea fans realise with the regularity they're showing up to our podcast now just highlights how nervous they are about facing us again next season if they survive? You tell them, John, boy. Looks like a good turnout next weekend. When I was looking at tickets yesterday, I'm going to go for about 25,000, I think. Reese says 22. You said 20, didn't you?
I said 20. It'd be 21 at most, if I'm honest. So I think the 12:30s kills it. And we've had games like Luton, we thought, Luton Town would be 24,000, a massive sellout, a huge game. There's 20,000 there. We just don't sell out the big games. I think Swansea's the biggest one we sell out. We don't really sell out.
a massive crowd there next week is massive for the players as well. I think it could be the difference, really, but who knows? Jeff Dela Cruz, good evening. I think Jeff is flying in for the game next week, so be good to see you, Jeff. Yorkshire, we don't get beat in Yorkshire. Barnsley and others failed for the Yorkshire Grand Slam.
We don't get beat in Yorkshire bit. Unless we played Leeds, it's sort of true.
Yeah.
And I just don't want to play Leeds again for a while after the last one.
What Cymru? Swansea may have lost today, but they're still buzzing about those tea towels. Madness, isn't it?
Again, I see they had a was it record championship attendance just
Yes.
for Snoop Dogg. Just for Snoop Dogg. I mean, again, they can't even sell out normal league games. Again, it's shocking. That is. And was it 22,000? I think it was. That's the biggest thing. And we look at 22,000 for Saturday, and we're saying that's only a small crowd. Do you know what I mean? Shows the difference.
Here's a very interesting comment. Do you start with Kellyman or Ruben next week?
Kellyman is fit. Kellyman all day for you fit.
Do you play Ruben as well as Kellyman, or Ruben coming off the bench?
You can play Ruben in the 10. You can get Ruben in the 10 if Kellyman's a false 9. And it'll work, I think. It will work. I think Kellyman just looks so natural in that 9 position, and I think with a Ruben behind him, he can feed balls in behind the defenders, into the space, the top.
Who would you potentially take out then? Would you take out Joel out of the midfield?
This is the problem, because
you take Wintle out and move Wintle onto the bench, and perhaps Joel play the 6, Robertson play the 6.
Personally, I wouldn't start Ruben. I would start Joel. But if you're asking me, could he play with Kellerman, I'm saying yes. But for me, next week it'd be Wintle and Robertson with Joel ahead of Ruben. I think Joel's shown it this year. He's stepped up to the mark and done the job. So it'd be Joel ahead of Ruben for me, and Kellerman the false 9. But if you're asking, could Kellerman and Ruben play together, I'm saying yes.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, but completely agree with you. City must be aware of the counter-attack next weekend, as it's their weak spot in big games that matter. Graham says we need 8 more wins out of the last 12 to guarantee. Jama says, I think Saleh should start next game. Cross ball to him, keep the middle compact to protect defence. I hope we don't panic and worry too much about what Lincoln are going to bring to the table. I think concentrate on what we've done all season, because at home it's been our fortress, really. We've been so good at home this year, and we haven't had that luxury over the last couple of seasons. I know obviously you've got to analyse and look at the threats and that they're going to bring, but I hope, and I don't think it will, because he hasn't done it all season, really, has he? He hasn't changed the way we want to play the game based on who we're playing. No,
it's a sign of a good team. Don't change how you play because someone else is coming to our place. Let them change the way they approach the game because they're coming to our place. Let us play our natural game. If we play our natural game, it's one of those. If we play our natural game, right, and we lose, it's probably due to a fantastic piece of brilliance on their part. But if we play a natural game, we're more likely to come away from our place with a smile on our face and big 3 points.
Yeah. Good, Paul. I like it. Dylan Lawler, not only a great defender, but offers us another option going forward. How do we keep this guy?
Again, he's a fantastic ball carrying centre half, and we've said this. He did against Leyton Orient. The exact same thing. Picked the ball up, run it deep, scored in the season. I mean, it's just something we've been looking for so long. This is what we bought Darland for, because we thought Darland was a ball carrying centre half. We paid £3 million for him, I think it was. And look what we've got now. We had one in the academy. And you look at when Chambers and Fish play together, it allows Chambers to become a ball carrying player. So these are just fantastic options we got as well in the back. And what a player.
Yeah. Thinking ahead to next season, hopefully championship football. Do you know anything about the links to Wiley Soccer from FC? I haven't heard anything. I don't know if you have, mate.
Not a clue. I never heard that name. But again, it's one of those, right, where
we're going to be linked with it. Everybody know me.
BBM will know exactly the kind of player he wants, right? I mean, if we all of us in the chat now, if we made a list of the 10 worst signings in the last 3-4 years, right? Chances are we'd all have majority of the same names come up in our lists, right? And when you speak to the managers from them periods, the same thing pop up all the time. You know, I wanted player X, I was given player Y. The club came with this player. Now, we've had board members come and say, no, we've signed player X, Y, and Z for the club because we've got a plan. And these players are always failing, right? This year, we've not signed many. And the things we're hearing from the club are, BBM said, no, I don't want that player. Or you take that list back, I don't want them. This is the ones I want. I mean, it says it all for me. I think you've got to give BBM now, he's earned the right to have a say now in, these are the ones I want. You get me these players. You don't give me your players, you get me these ones. And I think that's what will happen next season. He'll have a big say in who comes in. It won't be the club making the say.
Yeah, no, I agree with you there. Jonathan's prediction for next weekend is Wintle 6, Robertson at 8, Joel 10, Kellyman left wing, Ruben false 9, Tanner right wing. Not sure. I think Ashford really put his hand up today for me in the performance he put in today. And I think we'll probably need his energy and his work rate to track back next week. So I got a funny feeling he'll probably start on the left next week, Ashford.
I think Willock will come back into it next week, if I'm also.
Do you reckon?
I think Willock will come back into it. It'll be more... I think it'll be a game where he looks at something like Willock who will hold up the ball, control the ball a bit more, and try to bring others into play. And then bring on the energy towards the end of the game. Hopefully a tight defence, bit of a pace. Maybe Isaac might be on the bench again, I don't know. But I think next week he'll have a bit more energy off the bench rather than on the pitch, like.
Yeah. I thought that young Callum Scanlon will come on today for 20 minutes or 25 minutes with injury time. I think it was. He looked half decent. I think we've seen him previously for 5 or 10 minutes, didn't we? But he had a bit more game time out there today. He's got something about him, I think. Building
his fitness, and he's got to know he's not going to be the first starting player. He's going to be behind Bagan. But he's probably going in and thinking, if I can push him and show him what I can do, I can get a first starting place. And that's going to make Bagan push up his game as well. So while he's getting his fitness up, this is brilliant for us. This is covering in so many positions.
What Cymru says, how much is Lawler worth after today's goal? If you were to put a price on him now, what do you reckon we could demand for him?
I reckon right now, probably, again, I think modern football is inflated, fees in football are inflated. But I wouldn't be against us saying, look, give us 20 million and a sell-on fee. That's what we want. We want £20 million, 15 in cash guaranteed, for 5 million in if X amount of appearances or a Champions League this or whatever. Because that's how clubs like the structured deals now is with, based on if X, Y, and Z happens, you'll get this money, and then slap a sell-on clause. That's what I'd be demanding. And that's in League One. If in the Championship, I'm saying 25 million guaranteed cash and then extras and stuff.
I wonder what the most expensive player has been bought from League One. I don't know if you would have any idea. Jonathan Mordecai will probably have an idea, but I wonder what the biggest fee has been demanded of a League One player. I wonder. If anybody knows, chuck it in the chat. Jama says they will target a key player. City may have to change for that reason, like Spurs stopping Bruno to win the cup, big games, change teams' attitude, especially the away side at City. If we win the league, I want a commemorative tea towel. Plymouth fan, thank you very much for tuning in, my friend. Much appreciated. Plymouth fan, you guys were absolute class above last week. We just played really well. Really hope you guys go up and smash it. Much appreciated, buddy, and thanks for tuning in. You Jan has done us last week. Can't complain. The two Irish players I recommended both scored today. Johnny Kenny for Bolton and Owen Elding for Hibs. Both signed in the January transfer window. Jeff Del Cruz says 15 million for Lola. Reese, why do you hold your hand over your mouth? I am hard of hearing and lip read when I can.
I can't start.
Not very well at the moment, buddy.
I spewed on a show last week, so I have to do this now in case I'm going to be sick and I can't hide the camera quick enough. Otherwise, if I'm sick on camera, then it's everyone seen it. So I'm doing this now just in case.
But you've got to stop doing it now, Wen.
I'll just do this in case I go back. I'll go like that. I can.
Yeah, happy days. He'll try and thing it for you. Win your game in hand, only 3 points off playoffs, so you may get there as well. I think that's going back to maybe the Plymouth fan potentially. Jonathan says we won't be in League One to break selling prices. Biggest buy was Stansfield to Birmingham last season, about 15 million, I think, wasn't it? Yeah, obviously they bought him and he was in League One, wasn't he? So, yeah.
Again, I'm not sure what the thing. I know £20 million in the Championship was bought with Josh Sargent. It was probably going to get 12 to 15 goals. I don't think he's going to get 20 odd goals, and he's gone to America for 20 million. I mean, his career's not going to take off now, really. With Dylan Lawler, he'll go better and better. So I'll be demanding a lot more. I will.
Yeah. The highest ever paid for a League One player is held by Stansfield, who signed for Birmingham City from Fulham in August 2024 for a reported fee of 15 million, potentially rising. There we go. But he was at Fulham then, who were obviously a Premier League team. What I meant was a League One player going to like a Premier League team. I wonder what the biggest transfer fee that was demanded there, but something to have a little look at, I suppose. Guys, we've run over. Like I said, Reece wasn't feeling very good this evening, so I do appreciate him jumping on with us. Plenty of people have got involved, so we do appreciate it. If you would like to become a member of Cardiff City World, it would be very much appreciated. There's information scrolling across the bottom of the screen. To become a member for less than the price of a cup of coffee a month, you have early access to tickets for live events, etc., member shows. Anything give to help Si and the team to keep putting content out 7 days a week would be much appreciated. Like I said, for the price of a cup of coffee a month, you can help support that, and it is massively appreciated. So just say a couple of goodbyes. Graham says, will we get another penalty before the end of the season? I doubt it. We haven't had many, mate, have we?
No, God. One I think we've had. Wigan away. Can't see us get any more. Now we stand the referee in. Yeah.
Thanks, lads. Your channel is the perfect complement to this amazing season. Cheers, buddy. Appreciate it. Thanks, guys. Enjoyed it tonight. Much appreciated. Thanks for tuning in. Cheers, lads, and chat. Up the Bluebirds. SBF says, get well soon, Reece.
Thank you.
He's been struggling a bit, but haven't over the last couple of weeks. I think, I think we need to send him to the vets, I think, and get an injection in him. But no,
horse trunks.
Yeah. But no, jokes aside, thanks for tuning in. But I know you've been rough, but honestly, it's massive help. I don't think I could do it on my own like Si does, but at the end of the day, we're the dream team for a reason, but I mean.
Exactly.
Enjoy the rest of your weekend, guys. There'll be plenty more on the channel over the next couple of days, so keep your eyes tuned. I'll be back tomorrow with the breakdown. Obviously, Simon went to the game today, so I don't know if he done any extra vlogs or anything. So keep your eyes peeled. But just to summarise, massive performance away today. 4-0. Got to be happy with that. Great performance, professional performance. Hopefully Dylan Lawler's calf injury is not serious and we've come through unscathed. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Catch you soon. Diolch yn fawr. Nostar.
This channel is powered by an incredible membership community on Cardiff City World and patreon.com/AcePodcastNation. Becoming a member unlocks exclusive rewards from early access to live event tickets, bonus content, and even the occasional inside transfer scoop when we get it. But more importantly, it allows us to bring you top quality Cardiff City content 7 days a week. Across those 7 days, we're talking match previews, exclusive interviews, instant match reactions, the Breakdown podcast, tactical deep dives, the Spotlight series, Bluebirds Rewind, Academy Focus, and just so much more. Led by myself, backed by an army of passionate Cardiff City fans, this is content created by fans for fans. Balanced, professional, and 100% all about the club we all love. If you enjoy what we do, then join the community today and support what we are doing as we help to keep Cardiff City World flying high.